Welcome! In this demonstration, we are going to look at how to set up your Brother device with the address book. Before I start, I want to draw your attention to some icons you will see throughout the demonstration. These will show in the top right-hand corner. This icon indicates a listening section. This icon indicates an action. Both icons indicate viewer's discretion. Let's begin. Setting up the address book requires access to the internal web page of the device. For this demonstration, I'm going to use a web browser. Open a web browser and enter the IP address of your Brother device into the top bar, as shown here. If you don't know your device IP address, there's a video link on the screen and a link in the description, showing alternate ways to access the internal web page. Select Open Secure Login. This might send you to a security warning message. If it does, select the button or link similar to this one. This will reveal another button or link that you will need to select to continue, despite any surrounding warning messages encouraging you not to continue. Selecting it to access a Brother device is completely safe. This will open the login page. Enter your password and select Login. To find your device password, locate a label similar to this one. It can be found on the rear of your device. If the password has not been changed, this will be the current password. The password position may vary by device, but is always preceded with characters PWD and then the colon. Once you have logged in successfully, the internal web page will open on the home screen. Address book menu. Address book is located on the left-hand side of the menu. Within the address book, there are a few options. Addresses are broken down into sections of 20 for this model. You can see here 1 to 20 and so on. Next is Set up groups. This gives you the ability to set up groups. On this model, there is a maximum of 20 groups. This may differ by model. The next option is LDAP, which stands for Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. LDAP is an external database. This demonstration focuses on the internal address book. Therefore, LDAP will not be covered within this demonstration. The next option is Import, and the last option is Export. Setting up the address book. Select Address Book from the menu. As described earlier, this model has up to 300 entries, all in sections of 20. The number of entries is model dependent. Select addresses 1 to 20 from the menu. Once selected, this opens the address book with some mandatory fields. Address column. This is the address location in the device. Type column. This column allows you to select the communication method. F&T is for fax or telephone. Mail is for an email address. Number email address column. Enter the number or email address as appropriate to the type you selected. Name column. Enter a name for the address book in this column. This will show on the device when selecting from the address book. Some devices do not have fax or telephone functions. You can see from this example that the type column is missing. Email is the only option. We will start at number 1 and work downwards. To use a number, select FT from the type column. Enter a number to match the type selected. Name the entry. To use an email address, select Mail from the type column. Now enter the email address. Name the entry. I have added a few addresses for demonstration purposes. Once you have completed your entries, select Submit at the bottom of the page. We can see Submit OK in green at the top of the page. Your address book is now ready to use. Group Setup. Select Set up groups G1 to G20 on the menu. This will open the group page, which is similar to the address page. Group column, address column, name column, and members column. This is where you select your group number, 1 to 20 for this model. I am going to select G1 for this group. Here we assign the address location in the device. I have selected number 300 as the group's address location. There is an explanation on the address locations later. Name the group. Adding members, choose Select under the Members column. This will open the group members selection page. The details that were selected on the previous page show here: group number, group address, and the group name. Listed here are the address, the number email, and the name, and our available addresses to use. Select the tick boxes next to the required addresses. Select Submit at the top of the page. Submit OK will show in green at the top of the page. To check the group, select the relevant section. Here I will select 281 to 300 as we addressed it as 300. Entry number 300 is now taken by Group G1. Please note, in relation to the address locations in this device, the model has 300 available locations for addresses and groups inclusive. This means for every number or email in use, there will be an associated entry in the address book. For example, if you allocate an entry to number 1 in the address book and then set up a group and allocate number 1 to the group, the device will take the group entry and overwrite the address book entry with the group details. The addresses and groups have now been populated. Let's look at how you import and export the addresses. Please note the compatibility will be model dependent, and therefore it is not always possible to import and export across devices. To export, select the Export option on the menu. This will open the export page. Here, the device has detected there is 2 files. Both will be exported. Select Export to File. These, as a rule, go into your Downloads folder. Here are the 2 exported files. Select the Go To File location. Once the folder is open, you can see both files. The next stage is only if you need to edit these files, but as a recommendation, it is easier to edit within the internal web page. To edit, you will need to open in another application. Right-click on the file, select Open With, select Notepad. If you have Notepad++ installed, you can also use this application. Once the file is open, make the changes needed, then select File and Save, ready to import. The files are now ready to import. This will open the import menu. Select Choose File. Go to the file location. You will need to do this twice, once for the addresses and once for the groups. Select File, select Open. The files have now been selected and are ready to import. Select Submit. The files have now been imported successfully. When importing and exporting, please pay attention to the on-screen messages. Let's look at an example. Here, it is stating that both previously exported files need to be imported, even if you do not use all of them. Here, we can see only one file has been selected to import. Now there is a submit error message from only importing one file. Even though you may not have used or set up any groups, the file is required. If the device exports 2 files, you will need to import 2 files. The group data file is showing in red, indicating that the group file is missing and therefore needs to be uploaded to the device. Please pay attention to what the import-export screen tells you. Finally, the file extension may differ for different models. You are now ready to populate the address book. Thank you for watching.